Another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. A big third down play there for the Jags. 51 yards.
Today's receivers in the NFL, they're the complete package nowadays. We know they can run, we know they can catch, but they have those big frames now.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eli Harold coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's third down. He'll drop to throw. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
This is taken near the 13. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now a play fake here on first down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A huge play there for Houston. 48 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Here's Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Here we go.
From the gun, here's Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He may try and run for this. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And this one is right through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to loft one deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And it's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Meanwhile, a second quarter score from Carolina, and the 49ers are out to the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
A run by Foreman to start the drive. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I'm about to do a disservice to the catch we just saw. One-handed, coming down with it, just like that. Yeah, I know. Odell Beckham Jr. We're used to this, aren't we?
We are.
And that's just wrong on every level. That was spectacular.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll go with Foreman. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
A carry for Foreman. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
Here we go.
They'll let the power game take over with Prosh. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Jay Prosh, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans will extend their lead. And his kick is good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 23. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's Brad Nordman now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And here's a very low-line drive. Almost whiffed on it. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Watson on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Texans on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. The play clock's running down. Watson just beating the play clock. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Here's Foreman. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans continue to pour it on. Now the try here for the point after. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll run with Foreman. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Second down, and the offense needing 5 yards.
Now let's go!
Again, it's Fournette. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Black 99 Philly, here we go! Gone! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Complete, the tight end Rivera. And oh, he coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney Merciless in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Brad Nortman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. This is taken at the 18. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? A gain of 32 that time. First down, Watson. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Odell Beckham, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans add on. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in his drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now let's go.
They're going to look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
After the interception, here's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Throwing again is Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw, Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. And not great starting field position here for the offense.
All right, here we go. Leopard!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. Back to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go now.
They'll set up to throw. Fighting him off. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Carlos Watkins in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hurry up, here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Flex round. Here we go.
And Watson's going to throw it here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. His throw caught right around the 6. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go.
Watson looks to throw again. Eluding the pressure. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. Lee's got it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.